Okay, by now you get it. I love Spanish. And if you watched the video called False Friends, you know more specifically, I love the words. I love finding friends. Words that are almost exactly like the words we use in English. Pausa, licor, banco. I love discovering false friends. Embarazada is not embarrassed. Constipado is not constipated. Well, it is, but not the way you would think. But there's a lot more stuff you need to watch out for. Sometimes there are friends out there, you just need to find them. Other times we think we use a word only one way in English, but it turns out we're wrong. We use it two ways, and Spanish has a different word for each way. That works the other direction too. I love the words, but it can get a little confusing sometimes if you don't know how they work. Today's video is one of my favorites so far. We're gonna have fun with words. Hola, soy Jordan, and this is a Spanish Quickie. Fast, easy Spanish lessons from somebody who speaks your language. There's a lot I want to cover, so let's just jump right in. There are 3 situations I want to tell you about today. Situation number 1, when you have to find your friend. Banco is a true friend. Banco means bank, and other than being exactly the same word, those 2 words couldn't be more similar. Thank you, Banco. You're a good friend. Well, sometimes your friend is out there, you just have to find them. They're hiding somewhere deep in your brain. I remember when I first discovered this. I don't remember why, but I wanted to say speed in Spanish, but didn't know how, so I looked it up. I was amused to see they say velocidad for speed. That sure looks a lot like velocity, which is another word for speed, basically. Now, this might not be as amusing to you Brits. I'm not sure if you say speed or velocity for how fast you're going in a car, but you get the picture. Leave me a comment below and let me know. I'm curious. If you're ever in a situation where you don't know a word, first, try to Spanishify it. For speed, I would try esped. Lots of our words in English that start with S, like Spain or special, start with ES in Spanish. Spain is España. Special is especial. There's no word esped though. If you guess that, they'll probably stare at you blankly. In that case, what other words in English mean speed? Velocity? Okay, let's Spanishify that. Velocidad? Ding, 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 ding. Now, if I were you, I'd be sitting there thinking, yeah, easy for you to make velocidad out of velocity. You already speak Spanish. I totally get it. But here's the thing. There are patterns. Most of the words that end in ity, like velocity, end in idad in Spanish, like velocidad. So once you know that velocity is velocidad, you can just guess correctly that objectivity is objetividad. Adaptability is adaptabilidad. I'll go over this pattern and more in later videos. Right now, I just want you to know as you learn more words, you'll be able to better Spanishify words you encounter that you don't already know. Okay, situation number 2. Let's use the word try as an example. I learned that try is intentar. This is an example when you have to find your friend. Intentar looks a lot like intent, which is what you have when you try something. See that? Well, one day I used intentar to say something like, I like to try different foods, and everybody looked at me blankly. It obviously didn't work. I soon learned that try in this situation for new foods is probar. This really confused me for a long time, until I discovered how the dictionary works. If you look up try in the dictionary, or in our case, Google Translate, you'll see this, intentar, really big at the top. But below, you'll see a more detailed list. Try can be a noun too. We're not looking for that right now, but it's nice to see a very close word. Intento is the noun version. Under verbs here, you'll see the word I told you about before, probar, and intentar. Both words listed for try. Okay, that matches what I told you. Next to those Spanish words though, Google Translate is helping us by giving us more words. For probar, they list try, but they also list taste. For intentar, they also list attempt. You see, in English, and I didn't even realize this, we use try for 2 different situations completely. But for me at least, it really doesn't seem like 2 distinct situations because I've been using try for both for so long. Or maybe I'm just slow. So this box up here, that means very little if there's a bunch of stuff down here. All these secondary words listed in English are there to give you a more accurate picture in your head of what's meant. If you're about to try to win something, you'll see probar, which is try, but also taste. So the feeling you'll get from these words won't match what you want to say. You don't want to taste to win. If you keep going down the list though, you'll see intentar, which is also attempt. Attempt to win. Fits much better for what you have in mind. Got this? This is an example of one English word having 2 distinct, not interchangeable definitions. Situation number 3 is the opposite. The word esperar in Spanish means to hope, but it also means to wait. If you pull back a little bit, you can sort of see how hope and wait are related, just like a tempt and taste are, but at least to this gringo mind, it takes a lot of thinking to get me there. Another common example of this is hacer, which is to make or to do. It's easier for us in this direction because whenever we use make or to do in English, we just use hacer. But for Spanish speakers, you'll often hear them say something like, "Did you make the homework?" When they would normally use hacer, they have to choose between make and do, just like we have to choose between intentar and probar when we normally just say try. That's all I got today. I hope I communicated this well. I really want you to love this stuff as much as I do. I understand if you don't right now. It comes with familiarity, which is familiaridad in Spanish. So hang in there. I promise if you stick with it, you will get it. As always, if you have a question, just ask below. I really love getting the questions. I promise to answer every single one, unless it's stupid. Just kidding. If you're on Facebook and you want to make sure you don't miss any videos, go to my page, either click my picture or the words Gringo Español right next to it, hover over where it says liked, then put a checkbox next to notifications. A little red dot will appear whenever I post. No Indian jokes, please. I will see you next time. Hasta luego. Adios, amigo. Which is familiaridad. Familiaridad. 1, 2, so I will see you.